what you do get to get taught is how to set people on fire using ancient magics.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the general lesson we've taken, and yet none of us have managed to set anybody on fire with ancient magic yet, have we?
So far as anyone knows.
Would not admit to it.
You know, this is why people listen to the Dregs, because that's all us just admitting under all the rhino noises how many people we have or have not set on fire.
I mean, I'm not going to admit to setting anyone on fire, but a few Cybertrucks lit on fire randomly the other day.
Yeah,
so,
Tesla's... It ain't hard to get a Tesla going.
Well,
couple
as
of
we
rocks.
established, we established with didn't we establish in that first story that in order to use the ancient Egyptian fire magic, you needed like a piece of the thing you were trying to set on fire from a distance?
Yeah.
So,
and all you need to set a Cybertruck fire is some shit. So,
welcome to Hex the Rich analysis. Hashtag Hex the Rich. The best podcast ever.
For your money.
For your money, which is nothing. So, hey, enjoy your free content, everybody.
Pretty much.
Down with the establishment.
Sure would be a shame if someone... There, I got it out of the way early for you.
I was listening to a commentator. I forget what their name was, but was it Hassan Abi? I forget. But this was when there was that rash of town halls that just go absolutely sideways on the Republican Congress people, and it went further beyond that because someone released a bunch of voicemail messages that one senator was getting. And the commentator pointed out, there's a real difference between like boomers and Gen Z, because Gen Z is like, oh man, it'd be horrible if something bad happened to this person in, Roblox or whatever. Haha, teehee. And boomers are like, fuck you. My name is Jeb Smith. I live at 123 Springfield Way, and I'm going to fucking rip your throat out. My social security number is.
I am a tax-paying American citizen, and I will approve it right before I come and shit in your mouth.
Seriously, it's fucking hilarious.
My name's Frank. I'm a carpenter. I've lived in this community for 30 years, and I'm building guillotines.
They'll do it, too.
I'm still waiting to see those kits pop up, though. I mean, I'm sure if you search for it, you can find it anyway. But we should really take lessons. What we have been doing, what we should be doing, is taking lessons from the pulp novels of the 1930s. Mm-hmm. When we were also in the midst of a major economic depression and everything looked bleak.
Who wants to go first?
well,
with there's a little bit of preamble to be had here.
Yeah,
because we have to talk about the fact that this is the first time we've dived into a new Dr. Satan story, where the last story kind of left us pretty cold.
Yeah. The issue being, of course, is that any kind of continuity these had, not that there wasn't much, but any kind of continuity these had got thrown out the window, which left us wondering how seriously Paul is actually taking this. Our dear friend, Paul Ernst. Of course, we're on a first name basis with him. We have permission from Paul.
Yeah.
You can trust us.
Our good friend, Paul.
Our close associate.
No, We've
collaborated with him.
Yes. I have a Ouija board here I'm using to talk to Paul.
Stop making my story gay.
You don't need our help with that, Paul.
Oh, well, we didn't do that.
We have news. You may want to sit Ghost down.
Do you think Paul? Do you think Paul's the one who gave Pepper the gun?
Probably.
Paul, yeah, could have been. The last story we read by Paul in the I keep almost calling him the Crimson Executioner. That's twice that's happened now. Dr. Satan.
Yes.
The last story we read in the Dr. Satan canon. I think Gers is the one who is dead, ? Correct?
Yes.
Gers died previously in the consuming flame, and then was inexplicably alive again in this one, only to die horribly again, with Dr. Satan vowing vengeance, much like he vowed vengeance in the consuming flame.
So it's a roll of the dice going into this next story, whether or not Gers is going to be alive. We don't know.
If for the next 3, Gers is just alive to get killed over and over again, I may find that the funniest thing ever, or I might find it the most offensive thing ever. It kind of depends on how Paul here presents it.
Yeah. Is there a Gers shop? Like, is Dr. Satan getting these guys, these mooks, on, like, discount just because the Gers model is so easy to get?
Maybe.
The other thing that happened at the end of Horror Insured is that all pretense of, like, the whole, like, oh, magic is just science we haven't gotten to yet, and, oh, this is from this area of the world where they can summon flame using this powder. All that pretense is gone, and there's just full-fledged magical Pokemon battles.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm wondering how you top being able to summon a fucking dragon type. Not
only did Dr. Satan summon a dragon, but it was before it even did anything, it was immediately stymied by Ascott Keane conjuring 3 ghosts via necromancy of people who had recently been killed due to his negligence.
Yeah. Which was funny.
It was funny. And then he could have defeated Dr. Satan, but he got interrupted by the police.
I'd have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling police.
That is
one of my favorite comments, YouTube comments on part 2 of Horror Insured, from Raz the Kumquat 67. Thank you for viewing and commenting.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Dr. Satan calls bullshit on teleportation and then immediately launches into a monologue about invisible dragons.
It feels like it. I mean, the first 4 stories were fun and in a delightfully unhinged kind of way. This is just unhinged at this point.
Yeah.
Horror Insured, and not to mention, this is the same. If we're accepting that there's a continuity here, which there clearly isn't anymore, unless Paul really redeems himself, he probably won't. I'm just going to assume the worst and hope for the best. Dr. Satan was engaging in insurance fraud, effectively.
Which I'm okay with. I'm okay with that. It's just a general sloppiness of the whole story that kind of brings it down.
Yeah.
I actually like that at the core, his crimes are very petty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's ultimately why we like him and we support him and why he's the socialist hero we all need, right?
He's generally just fucking around. And that's one of the things, like that line about him laughing at banks. We took that literally because it just fits so well into his image of just literally going up to a bank, pointing and laughing.
And then walking away while wearing the costume, no less.
Oh, absolutely. Broad daylight.
I need us to go back to the incredible brilliance of one of Dr. Satan's plans hitching on someone's clock being in the correct position on a desk.
Oh, yeah. From The Man Who Chained the Lightning.
Oh.
Yeah. That is maybe, not to exaggerate it, or anything, one of my favorite things that has ever happened in anything I've ever read ever.
He had to make sure that the electric clock was in the exact right position or the plan would not have worked. It's a level of just absurdity that just cannot be fathomed. And for that, I think we found such great delight in these stories. And even though the last one did leave me kind of cold, I'm with you there. I still am hoping that these last 3 that we're coming up on will recapture the magic a little bit.
We are junkies chasing a fix, hoping it can be the same.
Pretty much.
So I'm just... Hang on. Okay. I'm ready.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do this.
Inject me, Satan Daddy.
I'm ready, Paul. Paul's our fixer. So...
Okay.
All right.
I'll start. Here we go. The sea was as calm as a pond. Over it, the great ship floated like a ghost vessel, dipping a little too long.
Okay.
That's not a TOO2, so it's dipping a little too long. Slow swells, but otherwise as motionless as a thing on a backdrop. The white moon poured down its peaceful flood, but somehow the peace was an eerie thing and not reassuring. In a large cabin on deck A, two men sat behind a locked door and talked in whispers too low to be recorded if there were a dictograph receiver concealed anywhere. One of the two had the often photographed face of Assistant Secretary of War Harley. The other was Jules Marksman,
Jules Karl Marksman, the communist.
inventor and manufacturer. Harley, a slim, precise, elderly man who looked more like a high school principal than an important government official, shook his head a little. Then, as the invention now stands, it is useless, he summed up. Marksman, the inventor, nodded his bushy gray head. His heavy, grizzled brows drew into a straight line. Useless, he conceded. I have the formula for the poison gas completed.
Oh, no.
It is perfect. A gas so volatile that it spreads at a rate of 100 feet a second in all directions and wipes out all living things, including vegetable matter, but its very speed makes it impossible to use as other war gases are used. It would wipe out the men releasing it as well as the enemy. Special masks to protect our own men? Suggested the Assistant Secretary of War. Marksman shook his head. I thought of that, of course. I'm real smart. I worked along that angle for a time, but no mask can be devised to protect a man from the gas. So the answer lies in another direction. That is, an antidote of some sort for it that will permit the men releasing it to feel no ill effects from it. That sounds difficult. Look here. Couldn't the stuff be shot from guns to explode and radiate at a distance? No.
Stop trying.
It is so highly explosive itself that no shell can be designed to... Okay, we gotta talk about the artwork. That no shell can be designed to keep it from exploding when the gun charge bursts. When its high volatility spreads it all around the gun. Again, our own men would die from it. No, the only answer is the antidote that will make the core releasing it immune to its deadly effects. Harvey stroked his long, spare chin. You've worked along that line, Marksman, and I'm tagging out.
So, you can't drop it? Like, in World War I, they had biplanes where they just drop bombs, like, manually. You can't just do that.
Can you not just, like, fly over and unleash... I mean, terrible as this is, unleash canisters? Just little...
So, a timer.
A fuse. Yeah. A very long fuse.
Yep. It probably... I mean... It just seems like these two don't have the right idea of how.
One of them is the Secretary of War, but all right.
Well, the funny thing that is there's no comma that says Assistant Secretary of War, comma Harley. So I assumed he was just the Assistant Secretary of War Harley.
Yeah, I was half expecting his name just to be War Harley.
Yeah, that's where my mind was going. But you mentioned the art. We have this. I
am War Harley, assistant to science friend.
This might be like the art I have the least amount of notes about because it does just like he's going through some weird eldritch hell.
Yeah, that's
cool.
I mean, honestly, if that happens, I'm kind of down for it. For Dr. Satan to travel into limbo or purgatory or literal hell, literal Christian hell.
like Mr. Toad.
Yeah, exactly. Traveling as you do after getting hit by a train. And you have to ask yourself every time you ride, gee, what did I do to earn this?
Yeah. What did I, a guy at Disneyland, do to end up in hell?
I have heard it said, though, I knew someone who mentioned, if I'm ever at Disneyland on New Year's Eve, I choose to try and time my ride of Mr. Toad, like just before midnight. So right when midnight hits, I'm in hell. Because if I start the year off in hell, I have nowhere to go but up. I thought that was a good sentiment, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I've been working on an antidote for 18 months. The final solution is not yet worked out, but I'm getting closer. Marksman looked at the locked cabin door and lowered his voice still more. I have an antidote at present that will counteract the effects of the gas, but its own effects are almost as serious. The man who takes it literally dies for a short space of time.
Uh-huh.
Have an
The
antidote
antidote
present
kills
that will
you.
counteract the effects of the gas. It's poison.
I call it cyanide. Temporary cyanide.
His heart and breathing stop. Blood man. For about 12 hours. Most curious. And most unfortunate, Harley said dryly. In 12 hours, the enemy from beyond the radius of the spreading gas could gun and bomb the helpless crew out of existence. But tell me, how can men die for 12 hours with the bloodstream stilled and liable to coagulate, and then come to life again? Or do they? Yes, they do. I don't yet know how, even though I made this shit. The blood should coagulate, but it doesn't. Perhaps some life force beyond power.
I don't know. It's some science bullshit or whatever.
Whatever, fuck it.
Mr. Marksman here, our great scientist. What a great scientist. Perhaps some life force beyond power of detection still functions enough to keep the body in shape to be reanimated when the effect of the antidote wears off. Anyhow, that's what happens to a man who takes it at the present state. He literally dies for half a day, then comes slowly back to life. Have you tried it on anyone? Marksman nodded. His face was a little paler than normal. What happens to the subject of the experiment? Dun dun dun. Page break. Weird place for a page break.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, we're still like in the middle of a conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Story.
This is weird.
You can't just be dead for 12 hours.
No, that's pretty bad brain death.
Yeah.
It's some sort of state of suspended animation?
But then, well,
Question mark?
I guess, but how does whatever. Marksman looked at Harley for a moment before replying. I tried it on a dock laborer several times. Several times? You've killed someone and left them brain dead for 12 hours several different times? What the fuck, Marksman?
He's a dock worker. He doesn't
Jesus.
care.
Okay.
Apparently. He's a working class person. What do we care?
He wasn't a clever or educated man, which I guess makes it okay. He didn't manage to express very well the things that happened to him. His brain don't work no more. What's he supposed to say to you?
He's lost his job as a dock laborer because I keep kidnapping him and killing him for 12 hours.
He managed to survive. He managed to come back each time, but the brain damage was significant.
Hey, Joe, you keep not showing up for work. Yeah, funny thing.
What happened to you? Coma with a sex bot. Listen to the dregs. But as far as I could gather, he was in the land of the dead during the coma induced by the drug. Land of the dead? Harley exclaimed. Then he smiled. And where's that? I don't know. What's it
Florida.
Like? I don't know that either.
It's Florida.
Florida.
Oh, no.
My man hadn't the vocabulary to describe such things in the first place. In the second, he didn't want to talk. And though he was fearless in a blunt animal way, he refused to take the stuff more than twice. Yet somehow...
I didn't want to take it more than once. This is shocking to me.
This is like MK Ultra shit. Before MK Ultra. This is scary. Probably it has some sort of hashish effect. Yeah, it's just like marijuana. That's what this is. God damn.
I love that if this story is going where we think it's going, this dock worker was given this thing that killed him for 12 hours and put him in a nightmare hellscape of the dead. And then he came out of it and told the doctor, okay, I'm only doing that one more time.
It also implies that Dr. Satan's going to have to employ this to go to the land of the dead, which means Dr. Satan's just going to fucking light up for the majority of the story, which is I'm here for.
We're here for Dr. Satan's trip.
Okay, said Harley, shrugging. Land of the dead? That's a little thick. But regardless of the angle of it, the poison gas invention is not yet ready to turn over to the War Department. Is that it? That's it, said Marksman. The gas is perfected, but the antidote is not. And until it is, the whole thing remains only a novelty, a dream of empire that can't be crystallized till I have finished work. Harley fingered his lean chin. Don't overlook the fact that, even as matters stand, you have a very valuable secret, he warned. Any power on Earth would pay millions for the uncompleted formula on the chance that they could work out the conclusion in their laboratories. You have the formula written out? Marksman nodded. They're too complicated to carry in my head. You keep the papers in a safe place? Marksman smiled a little. He drew from his vest pocket a small capsule, like a quinine capsule. It looked like some sort of dyspepsia medicine he carried for use after meals. The formula... I almost burped. Sorry, I should have been saying formulae this entire time, but whatever, are on onion skin paper in this capsule. If ever I am threatened for them, I swallow them. It is just fucking cyanide. The capsule dissolves in my stomach, and so do the formulae. I hope the necessity for swallowing them doesn't arise, for it would take me 6 wasted months to rediscover a few of the obscure chemical combinations in the formulae. But it can be done, if necessary. And
I just need to circle back to... This has been a real bust, but we'll keep doing some research. All we've discovered is the fucking afterlife!
We've discovered a way to... barring that, we've discovered a way to effectively make someone appear dead for 12 hours, have them be able to resuscitate them with no apparently serious brain damage or anything. We've effectively found a way to put someone in suspended animation.
They don't even have proof of the afterlife because they just say the person dies and then comes back and basically doesn't have the words to explain what happened. So,
well, have you tried testing it with anyone else who was also willing? You just said it was some random dock worker.
100% of our test subjects are one guy. We don't know what's going wrong. What is your scientific process here?
Oops, it rained. My onion pill dissolved.
Someone pushes you off the boat.
Beans. Okay.
Well, I'll be.
I'm suddenly reminded of the bit from Homestar Runner. Like, oh, don't worry, I just finished writing Paradise Lost on this grain of rice in 3 languages.
I am so happy. This is ball stupid.
Yeah.
It really is. These are the worst. This is no wonder we've never heard of We've never heard of this Assistant Secretary of War Harley.
Okay. Okay. Where were we?
Harley nodded.
Harley nodded. As safe a way as any, I think. Well, good night, Marksman. Take care of yourself. Don't eat the onion pill. And for God's sake, give the United States first chance at your gas and antidote when it's worked out. I am American, was Marksman's simple answer. I have worked in France.
Said the guy with the communist name.
My headcanon is that Marksman is science friend.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I'm leaning towards, too.
Yeah.
I am American, was Marksman's simple answer. I have worked in France because a colleague there has just the laboratory equipment I needed. That's all. My own country gets the invention when it is completed, as a matter of course. The 2 men shook hands. They kissed. Harley left Marksman's cabin.
They kissed. They both shared the onion pill.
I'll take this till the break.
Sure.
Marksman stared at the little capsule in his hand, which contained the nucleus of the mightiest war weapon ever devised. He forgot what he was doing and ate it. Fuck! Fuck! Shit.
The indigestion was immense.
Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up.
You know what, Alan? You know what happened? An Imp of the Perverse hit him and goes, "This is safe as long as I don't eat it. As long as I don't just eat this right fucking now."
Hey, bro, it's the Imp of the Perverse here. You should fucking eat it. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The night was warm, almost stuffy. He lit us I didn't read. Then he slipped it into his vest pocket again. Sorry.
Okay.
Almost stuffy. He lit a cigar, put on a plaid cap, and went up on deck. At that moment, in the salon at the opposite end of the ship, from which he had not stirred all evening, a man who looked like a high school principal but was really Assistant Secretary of War Harley was talking in low tones with his secretary, a good-looking young fellow of 28. Why bring that up, Paul?
Oh.
How bird-like is this man?
Oh. A lot of attractive men on this ship. Awful lot of semen, Paul.
I hear Marksman is on board with an interesting invention, the secretary was saying. Are you going to see him? By all means, said Harley. I think a little later in the evening. Marksman passed the windows of the salon without looking in. Assistant Secretary of War Harley had already seen him, he thought. It never occurred to him that a man could make up like Harley so exactly as to fool him. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
He was well acquainted with the man, and then proceed.
Oh, we're back.
We're so back.
Paul.
Okay. It never occurred to him that a man could make up like Harley so exactly as to fool him. He was well acquainted with the man, and then proceed to pump him dry of details concerning his latest invention. He walked to the rail, fingers touching the capsule in his vest pocket. Palm sweaty spaghetti.
There it is.
All right.
Sea calm as a pond. Great ship like a ghost vessel floating over it. Moon pouring down a peaceful but somehow eerie white flood, which we saw already. From the stern came strains of music as the ship's orchestra played for those in evening dress who cared to dance. From the salon nearest to where Marksman stood by the rail came a burst of laughter as members of a salesmen's convention to Europe laughed over a joke. Right behind Marksman, there was an iron staircase leading up to the boat deck. From that deserted upper deck, a figure appeared. It blotted out the faint light at the head of the stairs. It began to descend, slowly, without a sound, like a great snake slithering down on its prey. Once Marksman turned for a moment, the black figure became a motionless blot on the staircase. Marksman looked out over the sea again, and the figure recommenced its crawling descent. A faint streak of light from the drawn shutters of a nearby cabin flicked over it. It revealed a form in a black cloak with a black hat pulled low. That was all. The face could not be seen. Yet evil radiated from the form as heat radiates from black-hot iron. The black figure reached the deck and took 2 rapid strides toward the inventor. Gay laughter from the salon. Casual music from the dance floor. And on the deck, death! Marksman tried to cry out. A steely arm hooked around his throat, prevented a whisper from coming from his lips. His hand darted for his vest pocket, and he raised the capsule to his lips and took it into his mouth. The arm around his throat was replaced by steely hands. He couldn't swallow. His face grew blue, purple, with eyes staring from their sockets as he fought for breath. Then his writhing body became still. It hung from the iron grip of the hands around his throat. One of the hands shifted. Fingers gloved, pried open Marksman's jaws. They took the melting capsule from his mouth. Then the figure heaved upright. A thing like a badly tied bundle of rugs went over the ship's rail. There was a faint splash, almost inaudible, in the plashing of the ship's progress. The dark figure watched Marksman's body float astern like a drift log in the white wake of the moonlight. Then it turned and melted into the darkness of the nearest companionway. And with it went the formula of the new gas and its partly perfected antidote. Dun,
partly
dun, dun.
perfect something. Either something's perfected or not.
I guess it's in the eye of the beholder. I don't know. Either way, hey, Dr. Satan actually killed someone by normal means for a change. Presuming that was Dr. Satan.
Well, and he did still use weird stealth magic to appear like a black I don't know if that was him being stealthy or using magic to be just to basically suck in all light or something, but I don't know.
Yeah. Cool. Or maybe it was just Gerst number 3.
The Gersening.
Gerst the third.
I'm
gonna.
Oh, weird. We have chapter 2, but we don't have a subtitle.
Oh, we don't.
We usually do. That's strange.
We didn't actually list this. They didn't have a 1 listed either.
Weird.
I'm gonna pass priority to you, Abysmii.
On a hill fronting the shore of the bay, among great estates forming the cream of the big houses in the wealthy resort town of Red Bank, New Jersey, was the home of Linton R. Yates, a 30-room mansion. It crowned the hill like a coronet of gray-cut stone. At the moment, it was dark. No light showed from any window, even the windows in the servants' quarters. It looked empty, but it wasn't. In the darkness of the side driveway, a roadster stood. The roadster had been driven there, alone, by Linton Yates himself. And Linton Yates was at present in the basement of the house. Down there, with none of the electric light showing from any barred and steel-shuttered basement window, he stood beside the square furnace at the end wall. His withered old hand went out. He touched a small discolored patch in the wall next to the back of the furnace. A section of the wall hinged out. Gray-beard, wizened, crafty-looking, the rich man stared furtively around him before he stepped into the hidden basement room revealed by the swinging back of the concealed door. As he entered the room, he touched another discolored patch in the stone wall, and the door closed after him. There was a great safe door in the floor of the 10 by 10 cube. So large was it that it almost formed the floor of the room. Rubbing his hands together with a dry, rasping sound, Yates walked over the safe door to a big knob in its center. He twirled that to the required combination, walked off the door, and threw a small switch.
I like
there was
that.
A hum.
I like that. To me, it feels like this is Dr. Satan going, "Sorry, but we went 4 whole pages without me killing some rich guy, so I got to get to that."
Sorry. There was a hum as a half-horsepower electric motor spun gears that slowly raised the ponderous door. Yates went down 2 steps into the safe. Here was a great heap of small, dirty yellow bars and a square steel box. The yellow bars were gold. Thanks, Paul. Tons of the stuff, hoarded there by Yates against the day when the country would return to the gold standard.
How's that weight going, Linton?
Uh-huh. At a new and high dollar value that should give him $2 for every one he had spent for the precious metal, the steel box. Yates chuckled aloud as he passed the bars of gold and went to the box. It weighed perhaps 100 pounds. It was a panting effort that the wizened old man managed to open the lid. With the lid opened, he crooned aloud, as a man might talk to an adored pet. A coruscating varicloft fire came from within the box. It was cold fire. Did you discover cold fusion? Shit. Yates plunged his hands in and lifted them. The fire trickled back down between his fingers and into the box again. The fire of diamonds, hundreds of them, unset but perfectly cut. Diamonds and gold! The 2 commodities, particularly gold.
So cold fire means diamonds then?
Yeah, that's okay.
That's a dumb... Hey, Paul, that's a dumb thing to call it.
That's weird. Let's call it diamonds.
Yep.
The 2 commodities, particularly gold, that always have at least some solid worth, no matter what low price levels other commodities sink. With these, whispered Yates, eyes gleaming, I am secure. No man or form of government can harm me, make me poor.
And then Dr. Satan killed him.
Yeah, this guy needs to die immediately.
Always, with these, whispered Yates, eyes gleaming, I am secure. No man or form of government can harm me. Always sunny opening.
Linton R. Yates gets killed by Dr. Satan. He let diamonds trickle through his claw-like fingers again, and then stiffened suddenly. But his stiffening was not that of alarm, nor was it that of listening. He stared straight ahead of him at the steel and copper wall of the sunken safe. But he did not see that wall. His filmed eyes were glazing rapidly as the eyes of a man, glaze in death. His body was as stiff suddenly, and for no apparent reason, as a thing of wood. And I will pass.
Okay.
Stiff as a thing of wood, boner. We're going. For perhaps a full minute, he stood there, bent over the box a little, his ass poking out just a little bit. You know the way. With the last of the diamonds trickling from his cupped hands to the strong box. Then, slowly, he began to sag toward the floor. He sank to his knees, his rigid stare still centered on the safe wall. He fell, like a falling log, prone beside the treasure box. So he just fell forward.
A long time to get there.
Yeah.
So he just fell forward, bent over a little bit. I'll let everyone imagine what that position is right now.
That's the way we like to fuck.
What are you doing back there, step bro? Nope, sorry.
Oh, no.
Abandoning joke.
Did you hear the alarm in there?
Yeah.
That was unplanned.
He was dead.
Good.
Cool.
A glance could reveal that fact. But in a moment, it was revealed that his death was not the most horrible part of the unseen drama to be played in the sunken safe.
No!
And he was stuck in the washing machine. That's right, I brought the joke back.
Shit.
You're not my fucking dad? The dead body abruptly began to lose its solidarity of outline. Its demarcations became blurred, as the surface of hot stone is blurred when heat waves shimmer up from it. And as the outlines became more and more blurred, they commenced to dwindle. The dead body shrank, like wool in hot water. It got smaller and smaller, till it was like the form of a doll dressed in doll's clothes to resemble an old man. Here it is.
What is happening?
This is the nonsense I love.
Oh my god.
And then there was nothing in the safe but the dirty bars of gold and the small box of gems. At least a glance would have intimated that there was nothing. Only a careful look would have shown on the floor beside the box a tiny thing like a watch charm shaped in human form.
This is like combining the shrinking, growing light from the fucking Hollywood horror with the God, with something that kills you this time.
I turned an old rich man into a doll. How do you feel about that, Keane?
That's weird even for you.
I'm also working an angle where I can visit the land of the dead. I've got a lot of fires going right now, Keane.
Just wait for me, Keane. I'll figure it out.
Some of us are busy all the time, Keane.
I'm spinning
this one.
I'm doing a plate spinning act over here, Keane. I'm from Jersey now.
I am in Red Banks. God damn it, Keane. Notice me.
That was at 11:30 at night. At 12, a big closed car drew up behind Yates's Roadster under the side portico. The closed car had come 30 miles in 30 minutes. From it descended a figure cloaked in black, with a black hat on its head, the brim of which hid all trace of its features. The figure worked an instant with the lock of the side door, opened it, and walked in darkness to the basement stairs. Beside the furnace, a gloved hand, gloved in red instead of in more conventional hue. You know, that weird color red.
Strange.
Went out and touched the discolored patch. Leisurely, the figure went into the hidden basement room. It lifted the box of gems first. The box was borne to the big closed car. Then, bar by bar, the gold followed, carried by the dark figure as though the 250 pounds each weighed were scarcely more than a normal load. With plenty of time between trips, the big car was loaded till it sagged drunkenly low on its springs. Then it was backed out of the drive under the red-gloved hands of the dark form at the wheel. It slid soundlessly into the main road, turned, and took the wide pike toward New York City.
Okay. Still don't know how that guy died, but that's okay for now.
He died from shrinking.
I'm sorry.
Clearly.
Were you not paying attention, David? He was counting his money and suddenly turned into a doll.
Well,
it's very
he died
simple.
First, and then he turned into a doll. I think.
His lungs shrank first. You just didn't see it because it was on the inside.
Oh, so he just okay. How did he stay standing then?
In the Dr. Satan universe, this is like a fucking stabbing.
Kind of.
No, I would say, and then I would say the way that Marksman died earlier was if this is a stabbing, how Marksman died was someone getting just slapped in the face.
Yeah, that was like getting your wallet lifted.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's me tabbing out.
Okay. It was at 3 a.m. when the Red Bank chief of police, a dark-faced, slow-moving man named Carlisle, who was high in New York's detective bureau, and a man with black hair and steel-gray eyes entered the sunken safe in the hidden basement room. "See?" said the Red Bank chief. "It's all like I phoned you. Carlisle. Yates' Roadster is at the side door, lights out and motor cold. The cook next door reported seeing the old man drive in, and after he'd been in the place 2 hours with no lights on, she had sense enough to think something funny was going on and phone me. But I get here and find the safe open and empty and no sign of Yates. Now where in the hell is he? He ain't in the house, and he ain't... Wait, this is a Jersey guy, right?
New York. Wait, no.
Oh, this is the
Red
New
Bank's chief is Jersey. Sorry, yeah, he is.
This is the Red Bank chief. Oh, sorry. He ain't in the house, and he ain't on the grounds. He couldn't have gone far without his Roadster, and anyhow, his safe's cleaned. He must have something pretty valuable in it. He certainly didn't clean it out himself and then just walk away somewhere, leaving it wide open." The tall man with the coal black hair and the gray eyes stooped suddenly. He picked up something from the floor, near a square in the dust that looked as though a box had rested there recently. "What'd you find, Keane?" Carlisle asked. Ascott Keane, probably the most competent detective alive, said his author.
Sorry.
Probably?
No.
Not even close.
Sorry, story. Nope. Sorry. We're not new to this.
Sorry, you are 6 issues in. 6.
You can't fool us.
Ascott Keane, probably the most competent detective alive in his own mind only, though a few knew him as anything but a polo-playing rich man's son, faced Lieutenant Detective Carlisle. Nothing but a burnt match, he said, holding out a paper match with a charred end. I don't think it will tell us much. He gave the charred match to Carlisle, but into his coat pocket went another small object, hardly bigger than the match, which he had picked up from the floor at the same time and palmed. Carlisle grunted as at the match. Carlisle grunted at the match, then looked expectantly at Ascott Keane.
He handed Keane the match. Keane ate it.
I think the mark of being like a really good detective is literally hiding evidence from your team so you can investigate it on your own and not, share resources and perspectives.
Ascott knows that these people are beneath him, so he's not gonna. Remember scientist friend couldn't even bother to remember that guy's name. Yeah. He's not rich,
and now he's dead.
No, he's dead now.
He's either dead or come with me on this journey is Dr. Satan.
Oh man.
Oh, he knew the whole time. Well, he said, you once told me to get in touch with you, and any time an especially mysterious crime was done. This is crime, sure enough, and damned if it isn't mysterious enough. Think your pal Dr. Satan did it?
Finally, people,
and now people know about Dr. Satan.
People know about Dr. Satan now. Okay.
A New York lieutenant detective, nonetheless.
That's okay. Moving in the right direction, Paul.
Thank you. And that he would know that Keane knows about this. Also, and here's Keane's response. Keane shrugged.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been, I guess. There undoubtedly was something of great value in this carefully concealed strong room. There must have been a great deal of it, probably hoarded gold. Certainly Yates wasn't able to carry it away. He was an old man, rather feeble. Somebody got rid of him, somehow. He was down here counting over his buried treasure, and then carried off the treasure. And from the complete absence of all clues, I'd say the person clever enough to do that might have been Dr. Satan.
So it was him. Why'd you say you didn't know then?
Yeah,
Why'd you fucking drag me up to Jersey?
Because I'm bored. I just wanted to hang out.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of friends. Beatrice stares sadly from the car.
I don't have a lot of friends. Except for science friend and what's her name?
The fucking Carlisle
what's her name? I mean, I've met her before. She was real cute. You must remember her name. It's like, positive.
It's Beatrice. I'm right here.
Not even the story said I was in the room.
Oh, Walstead? Oh my God, Keane.
Gers. No, Gers is dead, maybe.
Twice now. You saw it happen. Beatrice, when did you get here? And where's my coffee?
Beatrice, why are you still wearing that stupid suit from the last story?
Guys, it's like seeing an old friend.
You said if I ever took this off, Dr. Satan could hurt me. I assumed that was still true. Oh no, I made that up.
What?
Yeah, no, I was actually doing studies on human gullibility. So you've actually had that this whole time, huh?
Oh, interesting.
The research has been very, very informative, Beatrice. Thank you. Oh my God. Okay, yeah, this is. Carlisle Carlisle stared curiously at Keane. Keane's face was as calm as a poker player's, but it was to be noted that fine beads of perspiration were on his forehead, that his cheeks were not quite as calm as his expression. Hard muscle ridged them. It's not the only thing that was hard. That all you got to tell me? He said. That's all for the moment. I think I'll run along. But you just came, Carmine said, disappointed and a little suspicious. You haven't looked around at all. What the fuck?
We've been here for a minute and a half.
I know, but I forgot to roll the windows down for Beatrice.
Anyway,
I'll be right back.
Anyway, are you a cop or a Wallstead?
It doesn't change much about your survivability rate, but I just want to know.
Looking around won't get you anywhere. If this is the work of Dr. Satan, and I'm sure it is, a lot of quiet study in a secluded spot is more to the point. I'm off to indulge myself in that now. He nodded to the two men and left the basement. Oh yeah, there were two men there. Fuck.
Yeah.
Sorry, I kept thinking there was one. I don't know. It wasn't explained very well. Maybe it's because I'm reading it. Anyway, I'm tagging. Fuck.
Behind Yates' car was the police car the Chief and Carlisle had come in. Behind that was Keane's long, low-hooded sedan with its streamlines and its 130 mile an hour of speed under its hood. Beside the driver's seat was a girl waiting for him. She was tall and lithe, her dark blue eyes in the light from the dash softened as they turned on him. Her hair escaping in a few...
in the car.
Literally. I hope the window was down. Her hair escaping in a few tendrils from under a smart, small hat was coppery brown. This was Beatrice Dale, Keane's secretary. No, more than secretary. Coffee bringer. She was his able assistant, his right-hand man. More than once in his pursuit of the monster of crime who called himself Dr. Satan, Keane had reached the point where he could hardly have carried on without her aid. I'm glad the story is just outright admitting that.
Good.
About damn time.
There's a sign. I just love the idea, though, that it's like there's a sign on the window that says, "Don't worry, she's got water and is listening to her favorite music."
Don't worry, she just went out for walkies. What did you find? She said eagerly as he took the seat beside her and started the motor. Was it Dr. Satan's work? Wordlessly in answer, Keane handed her the small thing he'd picked up from the floor of the rifled strong room. Then he slid into reverse gear as she looked at it. Ascott, what is it? Beatrice said. It looks like a tiny doll, yet it gives me the creep somehow. It seems to be made of rubber or some such stuff. A little doll, hardly more than half an inch long. What is it?
It's a dead
body. Ah! You could have warned me about this, Ascott.
Ascott, I dropped it between the seat cushions.
Oh, no.
No, but
we're never going to get this out. Keane tooled the car onto the highway and stared along the New York Pike. He glanced somberly at her. What is it? What is it? Well, it isn't a doll. Here, give it back to me before I tell you. He took it from her fingers and put it back into his pocket. That, he said, is a man. Not a doll. A dead man. What?
Keane, you asshole.
Seriously?
Yeah, you just touched a dead body.
You just touched a dead guy. You just touched a dead guy.
Lol.
And it's in my pocket.
What? Beatrice faltered. It's the remains of Linton R. Yates. Now, you're not going to faint. I command you. I wouldn't have told you if I'd thought you were apt to do anything silly. You silly, silly woman. Beatrice Dale straightened her swaying body in the seat. She drew a deep breath, and her voice was measurably calm as she said, You flatter my nerves, I'm afraid. My God, a dead man. And I held it. That was really a dick move, Keane. Gross.
Yeah, seriously, Keane.
It was notable that she didn't question for an instant the statement that a thing like a tiny doll, which could be held in the palm of her hand, was, impossibly, a dead body. She had worked with Keane long enough to know that his statements were apt to be infallible, and the feel of that little thing that had given her the creeps bore out his fantastic declaration. Yes, he said as the car leaped toward 80 miles an hour, that little thing is Linton Yates, retired oil magnate. That rhymed. Can you imagine his loving family gathered around that during a burial ceremony? Yeah, actually, it's really funny to think about.
Yeah, they have a little matchbox that they put him in.
Hold on. Let me just, as tiny as they're describing him, and I'm going to drop an image into the chat here briefly. I keep imagining muscle figures.
Yeah.
I'm suddenly thinking of the Monty Python sketch with the man who's like, well, I'm only half an inch long, and he's just sitting in a matchbox, and then someone opening it, striking the match, and you hear.
So, for those who don't know, muscle figures were these little hard rubber They were a line of collectible erasers, and they were kind of, as far as I know, like the first like popular like gachapon thing in Japan, based on a pro wrestling anime called Ultimate Muscle. And yeah, it's just these little flesh colored dudes.
Yeah.
And that's all I can imagine.
Fucking great.
Except now you got to picture a little old man there instead of a muscle dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see I see where it comes from.
Like burying a watch charm with all due pomp and surroundings? Then it was Dr. Satan. Nobody else on Earth could have done so hideous and bizarre a thing. But how? She stared
Except
at him,
you,
still
Ascott.
Pale. Yeah, probably. I wouldn't put it past Keane. She stared at him, still pale, eyes wide. Keane frowned at the night into which they were boring at express train speed. I think I know how. I'll make sure when we've got to my library at home. Pass.
That was a little after 3. 5 days later. No.
This is because you never stop and ask for directions, Ascott.
Beatrice just being like, so are you ever going to look into that like little rubber dead body guy? And Keen's like, oh, fuck, I totally spaced.
The what? Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm really into this new edition of Pokemon right now.
I've been thinking a lot about it since I had that battle with Dr. Satan.
I caught a Growlithe.
Wait, hold on. I gotta look this up on Bulbapedia. Can ghost types be dragon types?
There's probably a dragon ghost type at this point.
Giratina.
Carol, what?
The legendary Giratina.
I've become a real-life Pokemon trainer, Ascott Keane. Ignore all those police reports of me running around the park throwing dogs at people. Those are nonsense.
It's a smear campaign.
Growlithe, go!
I'm just picturing this. This is all of this is just happening in Ascott's head, and there never was a Dr. Satan. He just T-poses through town yelling, defeat! And everyone's like, what the hell is this guy?
If there was ever a moment in this show that I wanted fan art of, I just want a well-dressed, enormous man throwing a dog at someone and shouting, Growlithe, go!
Hey, artists out there. I won't name names, but certain artists who are familiar with the show that we know by name. You know,
I think it would be really cool in Roblox if someone said, Molotov, I choose you, and threw it at a Tesla dealership. Allegedly.
There's a place here in the city where a couple Teslas exploded, and like literally part of the investigation into these always has to start off now with, we need to make sure it didn't just do that.
We're not even a sentence into this portion, and already we're going off the rails again.
Mm-hmm.
That was a little after 3. At 4, they stood in Keen's book-lined library beside the great ebony desk, at which he had sat studying so many problems arising from the ghastly genius of Dr. Satan.
I like that Paul now cares about continuity.
Yeah.
Near the desk sat the ashes of several past chairs.
Beatrice had never bothered to sweep them up.
Keane was reading a 2-year-old scientific paper entitled The Possibilities of a Death or Disintegrating Ray.
What? Huh. Scientists are perplexed. Is it death or possible disintegration from a ray? Jury's out.
What's Keane up to?
If that doesn't get you on a fucking watch list, I don't know what does.
Well, maybe that's why it's a 2-year-old scientific paper and why its writer has not written anything since.
You have to imagine that there are like fucking police like constantly surveilling Ascott Keane.
At this rate,
Eyes on Keane.
Eyes on Keane. I mean, if someone like if I was that lieutenant detective and Keane said, we have to investigate this thing up in fucking New Jersey, and then says, yeah, there's nothing here, bye, I'd be livid. That's a giant waste of my time and resources. But if I knew everything about Keane that has been, like, I guess the police have been involved with, I'd be like, yeah, no, go with that dude. Watch him like a fucking hawk.
Yeah. Like, the dude claims he's investigating weird crimes, but how do we know he's not Dr. Satan? I mean, the guy's got a few screws loose himself. Keep an eye on him, all right?
Keane was reading a 2-year-old scientific paper entitled The Possibilities of a Death or Disintegrating Ray by someone named Bernard Hallowell, a.k.a. Science Friend.
Yeah, there he is.
Oh, wait. The possibilities of a death ray or disintegrating ray. Okay, I read that wrong. Because... comma or disintegrating. Yeah, and this is a poor scan, so like I kind of skipped over that. Okay, that makes more sense.
It happens.
But still, if someone published an article today that was like the possibilities of a super mega ultra megaton death bomb, that probably gets some, raised eyebrows.
Please, I've been sending out my scientific paper to all my local post offices. What if anthrax was delicious?
What if I lit a bomb that had such a fucking high point of fission that it, I don't know, erased all of the oceans? Weird, huh?
Oops, cops are here. The death ray, so called from popular speculations of a disintegrating device by the public press, is not at all an impossible dream. I am working on some such device now.
I have one. Come at me.
Come take it from my God-fearing cold dead hands.
This is my Second Amendment right to own this death ray.
The founding fathers wanted every red-blooded American to have a disintegrating ray.
Talk about a well-armed militia. Here it is. I'm Bernard Hallowell.
I have come close to its solution several times, as none of the features of my invention has yet been perfected to the point where they can be patented. I will naturally not reveal particulars to you, but I can describe the result of the machine when and if it is completed.
That's a threat.
Yeah.
Unless you give me $3 million.
Seriously.
My apparatus could be pointed and aimed as accurately as any gun, ladies, so that the ray it emits can kill one person. And one person alone, at a distance, up to 40 miles.
Holy shit.
What?
Okay.
What?
This story is throwing so much at us.
I am lost at the amount of weirdness happening. We started out with onion capsule with ultra mega mustard gas that's also basically nitroglycerin. Then we went to shrinking a person until they're dead. Now we have a disintegrating ray.
Don't forget about the antidote that lets you.
You almost
you
passed
over
the fact that you almost passed over that there's a pill that lets you into the afterlife briefly
for 12 hours, which I'm sure time is different in the afterlife. So like. God, actually, that's fucked up to think about. That dock laborer could have experienced like centuries in hell and then came back and then had to go back and do it again.
Unless he wanted to go back and do it again because he ended up in like Elysium or something.
Maybe.
I mean, it would have been really nice.
Yeah.
And I know we all kind of sound outraged right now, but this fucks. I love it so much.
Oh, this is great.
No, actually, yes. I'm having a grand old time. Like... Paul's just got to stick the landing.
Which one?
All of them.
There's a lot. There's a lot at this point.
He's setting up so much, and he has to succeed, or I will be very cross with him.
Yeah, Paul set up so much, and just when we think maybe he set up a little too much, he introduces the concept of a death ray that can kill someone from 40 miles away.
Oh man. That itself is a bizarre concept, because I can kill exactly one person, but from 40 miles.
If you're aiming that gun with like a scope, you have to take the curvature of the earth into account.
Yes.
But do you have to account for drop? Probably not.
Or the ray could be so diffused that all things within a 40-degree... Jesus fuck! Could be so diffused that all things within a 40-degree arc of its muzzle, at a lesser distance, however, would die. The ray strikes instantly dead the thing that is loosed upon. Then it further disintegrates the flesh of the carcass by causing the molecules to split apart and stream away through solid objects around it, and eventually into empty space.
Okay.
How can I know this when I have never yet quite completed a machine? My only answer, unfortunately not provable since I cannot let anyone see the fruits of my experiments to date, is that I am on opium. I am on so much opium.
Science was real crude back then, as were publishing vetting procedures.
Heroin rules. It's so good, you guys. Get on that horse!
See, the antidote makes you have a hashish dream while you're dead for 12 hours, but this was 2 years ago.
I just did a line of fucking coke and submitted an article to American Scientific.
I just did a line of coke off my secretary's dick!
Yeah!
40 miles!
I can see that far with my own eyes.
We keep talking about either like, doing our own version of Dr. Satan or potentially, kind of adapting what exists. I think we should just do this one verbatim.
Yeah. No,
this one's fucking wild.
Not change anything.
No.
It is bananas so far.
Honestly, if we were to adapt these, some of them I would modify so they had more continuity. Like, we're just gonna have Gerst be dead. I would have that, or maybe have a joke that Gerst just keeps recurring. But this, don't change a thing.
My only answer, unfortunately, not provable since I cannot let anyone see the fruits of my experiments to date, is that I have come near enough to the solution of the problem to watch an effect similar to what I described begin on bodies of animals in my laboratory.
Oh, so you're a psychopath. Okay.
Oh!
Cool.
Keane closed the paper and looked at Beatrice. You're not going to believe the shit
I feel so bad. Now I don't feel so bad about throwing dogs at people.
Yeah, you have to stop doing that, Keane.
At least I'm not disintegrating them in my laboratory. What's better, Beatrice? Huh? Neither, Ascott.
He closed the paper and looked at Beatrice. Beatrice, you're not going to believe this, but I feel normal now.
Are we in the wrong line of work? I feel like I need to I don't know, start a charity or something.
Beatrice he just looks down and just goes, "My God, my whole life has been a lie."
Her blue eyes were level with concentration. She stared at the paper in his hand, then at his face. Dr. Satan got to the man who wrote that paper, Bernard Hallowell, she said. Since he wrote it, he has completed the death ray machine. Dr. Satan forced the secret of it from him. That is what the little...
What?
No.
What? Wait.
No. Sorry, story. I just read a whole paragraph of what the death ray apparently does.
And it didn't shrink. It didn't kill a man and then shrink him.
And it doesn't turn you into a muscle figure. Dr. Satan forced the secret of it from him. That is what the little figure you picked up in Yates' safe means. Keane slowly shook his head.
Oh.
No, bullshit.
No.
I'm just reading. On his forehead again appeared fine drops of sweat, and again, hard muscle ridged out on his lean cheeks. No, Beatrice, it means more than that, much more. You see, Bernard Hallowell is dead. He died 2 years ago.
Not science friend.
No.
Man, science friends just keep dying.
Yeah.
He died 2 years ago, just after reading his paper before a meeting of the American Scientific Institute. He overdosed.
He died on stage. He said, "Thank you," and "Good night." He bowed, and his head hit the podium, and he just fell over.
He comes out just stupid high on fucking heroin, wheeling the disintegrating ray behind him.
Bernard Hollowell storms the stage with a stack of papers, a bunch of them flying around, his hair wild, his nose bleeding. Like, listen up, motherfuckers!
Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up.
Science!
All you stupid bitches ain't on heroin, and that's why you all suck. And I'm awesome.
I'm on heroin. I'm on ketamine. I'm peeing. I think I'm peeing.
Is that pee? It could be pee.
I can kill someone from 40 miles.
Anyway, death lasers.
Now no one will criticize me ever again. You hear that, Dad?
My heart's beating so fast. I'm so excited. I'm just going to lay down. This is my new favorite canon for any of these stories.
Bernard Hallowell, absolute legend.
He
absolutely mental scientist takes 4,383 doses of skooma and dies.
Okay, deep breath. No, Beatrice, it means more than that, much more. You see, Bernard Hallowell is dead. He died 2 years ago, just after reading this paper before a meeting of the American Scientific Institute. Beatrice stared at him, color slowly draining from her face, as she vaguely sensed something of what was on his mind. Bernard Hallowell, the one man on Earth capable of doing to a human body what was done to Yates, is dead. Yet Dr. Satan got from him the secret of the death ray, which was not quite completed when he died. That can mean only one thing. Dr. Satan has found out how really to do that which charlatans and self-deluded investigators have often claimed baselessly they could do. Communicate with the dead. Okay, time out.
Yeah,
this story might secretly be brilliant.
Bernard Hallowell, we call upon you with questions most urgent. What? Oh shit, I'm dead. God damn it. I knew the heroin would do me in. Oh, what the fuck do you want? We want to know the death ray. Shit, yeah, that stuff was baller. Here's what you do. You get a fucking gun. You put crack in it. You put it into your mouth and you pull the trigger. What? How do you make the death ray? I'm getting to that. Don't rush me.
Shut up.
Shut the fuck up.
You're being too loud.
You come into my afterlife and you start yelling at me to give you my secrets? Fuck!
Who said that? You're the only one talking. Oh, yeah, okay.
I'm trying to concentrate. Listen to my mixtape.
The best thing about being dead is the high never goes away.
He died when he was on heroin. So he's just always on heroin in the afterlife.
Such is the... Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Implying that this is just what happens when you OD. Oh, fuck.
We somehow invented a character who is more unhinged than Dr. Satan.
Yes, this is happening, and you'd have to imagine Dr. Satan is just standing there like, Jesus.
Calm down, man. God.
Look, so, I really just wanted to say...
What I was trying to say is, this plot is secretly brilliant.
Yeah.
The idea, scientists just keep fucking dying in these stories.
Yeah.
So Dr. Satan has found a way to communicate with the dead and get their science secrets.
By taking the weird antidote pill that kills you for 12 hours.
Dr. Satan doesn't give a fuck about the instantly kills everything gas. He just wanted the antidote so he could visit the afterlife, talk to dead scientists, learn their secrets, and then build something akin to a death ray. But it kills you and turns you into a doll instead of it shrinks you down to a muscle man instead of disintegrating you completely. So Dr. Satan probably got the idea and then built it wrong
differently,
or built it in his own specificity. So I don't. God,
there is one other thing we have to address from this plot twist. We have to hop back on our continuity horse for a moment.
Well, are you thinking what I was thinking about the contact with the afterlife that we've had before?
Yes.
Thank you.
My heart rate is really high right now.
I'm in tears over here. This is like,
I feel like I've taken a bump of raw powder.
What I'm positing here, what I think you're about to posit, is that Ascott Keane has conjured the souls of the dead to do his bidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here he is going, oh, charlatans and self-deluded investigators have all been claimed basically that you just Ascott.
I guess the implication being that he can summon specters to do stuff, but he can't, like, ask them questions. I don't know.
He's conjuring the angry shades of people who died recently and channeling their hateful vengeance for their deaths toward Dr. Satan and his imagined dragon.
Which is like more, I guess, of like a, I don't like, kind of like manifesting a harmful physical presence, not really like communicating with it. But it's so unclear.
Yeah, can you communicate with ghosts? I don't know.
There is another option we are not exploring here that I want to get into.
Okay.
He said that which charlatans and self-deluded investigators have often claimed baselessly they can do, communicate with the dead. Okay, if he is saying right there that it's not possible and he has never done it before, we need to explore the possibility that there were no ghosts previously and that fucking Dr. Satan has just like never been to the Haunted Mansion or whatever and doesn't know how the Pepper's ghost illusion works.
Or he's saying lesser men can't do it, but I can.
Yeah.
which is exactly part of the course for Ascott Keane.
Yeah.
He would do that.
Like imagine like everything we read in the previous story about there being an enormous dragon and like the undead, and like the police burst into the room and like Dr. Satan is just doing a big dragon shadow puppet. And Keane
that would be so good.
And Keane like is trying to hide like the fucking reflective surface that's in front of him, and
or they're both just sitting there and they're both just like pretend like fighting. I've summoned a dragon. I summoned the ghost of the 3 dudes you just killed, and it's really scary.
Yeah. The immense twist at the end of this story is that Ascott Keane and Dr. Satan are 2 8-year-olds playing pretend.
That would explain so much.
It's like the ending of LeChuck's Revenge. It's just they're just backstage at a fucking theme park going pew pew pew.
Yeah. Well, I summoned the big dragon.
Well, ghosts. I have ghosts of all the people you killed earlier. Those guys, they're here, and they scare your dragon away.
Well, I light your chair on fire. Well, I light your desk on fire. I light your mom on fire. Ooh.
I light you and Beatrice on fire. Nuh-uh. We're wearing special fireproof suits. Guys, I think we cracked the code.
Yeah.
we finally got it.
It's a really good cliffhanger on fucking Bernard Hallowell.
Yeah.
We
end on a high note with
character.
Bernard Hallowell. The new best character that we created.
Jesus Christ.
And
coked
this
up
story,
mad scientist.
What up, bitches? I'm Bernard Hallowell. Today, Death Ray.
You know what? You know what? That's who I want as the hype man on the mumble rap song. I'm gonna fucking do a Zanny and kill you with my sex bot. Yeah! Fucking do it!
If you reach underneath your desks, you'll find a copy of my dissertation and my mixtape.
You get a death ray. You get a death ray. You get a death ray. Everyone gets a death ray and my mixtape.
And also a loaded gun.
Oh man, we went full on. This is getting full on Batman insanity now too. Like,
god damn.
My chest hurts.
Yeah, mine too.
My face hurts.
Yeah. This was an experience.
I needed this. I needed this. It's in my veins now. I'm so happy. We're back. It's here. Oh, next time. Will there be a next time? Hopefully. My sincerest hope is that we can do this the next time we get together to record. If not, we'll find something in between to do, but hopefully do this soon. I don't know. I'm riding the high right now. I wish we could keep going, but all good things. We should quit while we're ahead. So, thank you for listening to our dumb show, with your dumb hosts who are just doing their best. If you enjoyed what you listened to, please, I implore you, leave us a little bit of feedback. You know, liking it, subscribing to it, leaving a comment on it, a rating. You know, we appreciate that.
Yeah.
And if you want to see some of the other shows that we do, you can go over to creativehorror.com. If you're not already listening to it there, or on your favorite podcast app, or on YouTube. I mean, any of those places, you might as well go there anyway. There's some good shows there. Hey, just before we recorded this, my two glorious and handsome co-hosts here recorded an episode of the Jameson tapes, and that should be hitting the airwaves sometime.
Eventually.
I won't deign to speak for the two of you. So but there's more coming, and that's great. We love it. I love it. You should too. If you don't, what's wrong with you? Get on. Stop messing around. Go listen to it. It's great.
Stop it.
It's free content. We make it for free.
Stop
for free.
It. Get some help.
Stop it.
I think about that way more often than I should. Hey, we have a Patreon too, patreon.com/creative horror, where you could give us money to support this dumb show. We have dregs. Sometimes they're really good. Sometimes they're meandering. Either way, you get stuff that no one else gets to hear. And some of them are so good that I will always keep them behind a paywall. So you'll have to listen to them. So you'll have to give us money. But maybe not, though. There's a whole bunch of backlogs of cool stuff there anyway on the Patreon. And you get to join our Discord and chat with us and have a good time. All of our Discord people are very cool and handsome, regardless of their gender. They're all very cool and handsome.
Yes.
And
being a part of the Discord means you are handsome.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Only handsome people on our Discord. And if by joining our Discord, you are handsome and comely.
We created the rules for the Discord in 2018, and the first one is that Alan is handsome and you like him.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. If you do not think these things, you're wrong, and you will be ejected from space, any space.
Yeah.
That we see fit. And I want to thank everybody who is already a patron who is supporting this show. You keep the lights on. You keep the website going. You allow us to do stuff like this and allow us to continue to do the show for free. It's not a lot, but it always helps, and it does accumulate. So thank you. And I'm trying to be more consistent about that every episode, but thank you all so much. We've been doing this for 10 years now, and I can't believe that it's still going. So my thanks, my gratitude forever. Whew. I feel like I've been through the ringer.
You guys want to smoke some crack?
Hell yeah.
You all can do that. I'm going to go take an antidote for a gas and be dead for 12 hours. Is that cool with you guys?
I'm going to take two Xannies and then drink a bottle of wine.
We're going to have some very conflicting highs.
Good evening, intrepid listeners. This is the Pasta Shade, the host of Midnight Marinara, and this podcast is part of CreativeHorror.com, a network of podcasts and creators working together to build a constructive community of horror fans. For more content like this, visit us at CreativeHorror.com.